Well, let me tell you about some chicks that I know. I got a Latina girl that says she wanted pronto. I got a girl in Toronto, man, I call her Raptor. She tryna chase the dollar, yeah, that's all she after. She said she fed up with the modern rappers. There's no energy, that sounded thin to me. Yeah, so I said I got that remedy. I got that old shit, you can depend on me. Cause I'm versatile, I can shake up the floor, I'll reverse the tile. You can bet your whole person.
Hey, what's up everyone? This is Eli from Checkit.com here with the Photoshop / Cinema 4D tutorial on Tutorial Tuesday. And I'm sorry I didn't make a tutorial on Friday, but it was Christmas time, so I had a bunch of family here and I really couldn't get around to it. I'm very sorry about that, but you guys get 3 tutorials this week and hopefully for the next week as well. So yeah, be happy. So today is actually New Year's Eve, so in celebration of New Year's Eve, we're gonna just make something for New Year's. I created this one pretty quick. It deals a lot with MediaMilitia. I'll leave a link to them in the description. It's just a cool photo manipulation, and I'll provide all of the files that you need in the description. Just go to checkit.com/downloads and you can get everything for free. So please give the video a like because seriously it helps out, and I am giving away all this stuff for free, so I mean, it's a win-win, you know. You give me likes, I give you free stuff, and we're all happy. Oh, also, leave a comment in the comments below because I put all my favorite comments at the end of the video. And with that, I guess we can get started. So, yeah, just open up Cinema 4D, and I'm actually just going to go over into here. I'm going to click this star up here because I have all of my presets in here. I'm just going to use Grayscale Gorilla, and I'm just going to use something pretty easy. Let's just do a large product studio because that's my favorite one. Go into the objects tab, and I'm just going to delete the studio U and the room, and I'm going to delete this replace me. The Cinema 4D portion of this tutorial is actually quite simple. All we want to do is create a text, and so we're going to go up to MoGraph, MoText, and then we're just going to go down to here and we're just going to rename this 2014 because I think that's what the next year is going to be. Alright, then we're going to go to the alignment and we're just going to make it middle. And let's actually zoom in using the scroll wheel. Alright, let's actually push this down. Just position it where you want it. Let me zoom out just a tidbit and get right about there. Cool. Alright, so now I'm going to go to the font, and I'm going to pick a font that I want that rhymes. What font do I want? Oh, that looks pretty cool. Yeah, I'll stick with that. Alright, so let's actually get it a little bit more into the picture. Cool. And let's go over to the caps, put some fillet caps on this mother, and just make them the radius 1 and the radius 1. Cool. And maybe go back to the object and maybe horizontal spacing, put that up just a little bit. Alright, and you can just make it thick if you want. That's how I did it in the first one that you saw, but I actually want to do something different this time. I'm going to copy the MoText using Ctrl C or Command C. I'm going to go Ctrl V or Command V, and then I'm going to just drop it back. I'm going to put my mouse on that. Just gonna push it back. Push it back as far as you want. Whoops. And right about, yeah, that's a little too far. About right about there. That looks cool. Now let's copy this one. Do the same thing. And this just gives it a different look, so it's kind of stacked 3 times. Now let's create a new material. Just double click down here, double click the material. Let's just make the color white. Okay. Let's drag the material onto the MoText. Hold Control, drag, click and drag, and just paste it 3 times on there. Okay. So now what we want to do is create one more softbox. So I'm going to go to my favorites, go to Grayscale Gorilla, and I just want to light it from the front as well, so I'm just going to double click this softbox. I'm going to zoom out. I'm just going to raise it up so it's out of the camera's view. I'm going to zoom back in, And now I'm going to go into the render settings. I'm going to change a few things. I actually don't want global illumination. You can use it and you can, make it render really slow and make it look really good, but you don't even notice it with all the blending modes I'm going to be messing with. So yeah, I'm just going to change this to, 1080p down here. And I'm going to leave everything alone, but I'm going to go to save. And now we want PNG and we want it on 16-bit. We want to check the alpha channel, the straight alpha and the separate alpha. Just leave everything else the same. But make sure global illumination is off because you really don't need it. Alright, so now let's make sure that our camera is exactly where we want it. Cool. Now we'll go up to this button right here, this middle one, and that's our render queue. And it'll just render it really fast. See how much quicker that is? Because we don't need all those little fancy things. Alright, so now let's click this floppy disk with the question mark. And we'll make sure that we have it on PNG, 16 bits, 72 DPI. You need to have alpha channel checked, and then just hit OK. And then we're going to name it 2014 Project 2. Okay, hit enter, and now we're good. So I'm actually going to save this too, so you guys can have it later. So save as, and we'll just name it the same thing. Project I. Okay. Now we can exit out of that. And now we want Photoshop. So let's create a new project in Photoshop. 1920 by 1080. All the other settings we'll leave the same. Okay. And let's actually exit out of that old one because that'll get annoying. Now we have all of these things here. So here's the PNG we just made. And the reason why we wanted it a PNG with the alpha channel selected is because without that it wouldn't have a blank background. So yeah, that's pretty important. Now we'll drag and drop the project 2 into Photoshop, and now that it's in Photoshop we can resize it if you want, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to check it and I'm going to turn it off. Okay, I'm going to drag other things in here. So I provided this galaxy picture and this Milky Way picture. The Milky Way one is a lot more high quality, and I didn't use that one in the first video, so I'm going to use it in this one. So let's bring it into here, drag and drop it, and then let's, size it up a lot. Okay, minimize this, and let's grab the clouds that I provided, drag and drop it into here, size it way up. And now we're going to manipulate this. So let's hit W to bring up our quick selection tool. And then let's just drag on all these bottom clouds. And what's probably going to happen, it's going to select the entire image. So we're going to hit and hold Alt, and you'll notice that the cursor changes from a plus to a minus. And we're just going to drag along the top. And look at that. Made it perfect. So we're going to right click now on the bottom. We're going to go to Refine Edge. We're going to check Smart Radius, turn the radius up. It doesn't matter how much. Mine's at 13. And turn the smooth up to like 26 and the feather up to 7.9. I mean, you can just mess with these settings if you want. Maybe not that much feather. But what we want to do now is we want to click and drag along this edge. And that basically just tells Photoshop to pay more attention to that side right there, to wherever I'm selecting. And it will just be more accurate around that edge. And now we can hit OK. And now what we want to do is right click on the clouds layer, go up to rasterize layer. We're going to go Control or Command Shift J. And we're going to delete the old layer, and that just separated the clouds. So you can rename this if you want. Oh, whoops, I forgot Photoshop. You double click. All right, so let's just rename it Clouds. No, not Cloids. Cool. Now we're gonna actually mess with these blending modes. So let's drag this up here. Let's double click this background and then just delete this old layer. And then we're gonna select clouds to, what should we make it? Maybe vivid light? I mean, just mess with it until you get something cool. I like vivid light. I think it looks cool. Then we're actually going to duplicate the clouds. Cool. I'm going to change this one to something else, like, what do we want? Overlay looks pretty cool. We'll turn back on our project. Now it's time to start making it pretty. I'm just using the arrow keys to make this go up a little bit, make sure it's looking kind of center. Now I'm going to minimize this, and I'm actually going to go to my MediaMilitia folder, and let's start with making the actual text look better. So let's go into the metal, let's find this one right here. This is a free pack from MediaMilitia. I'll put a link in the description for it. Drag and drop it under here. Let's size this way up till it covers the entire picture. And now let's set the blending mode to something like overlay. Put the cursor in between the metal pack and the project 2, and let's click and hold Alt and just click. And what will happen is it'll create a clipping mask, so it doesn't go all the way around. It's just on the text. And then to make the actual picture darker, what we want to do is we want to duplicate the project 2 text. We'll drag it above. Then we need to redo this just so it masks it once again. And now we want to duplicate the Milky Way layer and drag it on top. And then we actually want to do the same thing. Create a clipping mask for that one as well. And then we can just lower the opacity. Alright, awesome. So let's actually move this up a little more. It's kind of tough to see. Cool. Now what we want to do is we want to add a drop shadow just so we can kind of get some separation there. So let's go to the effects and go to drop shadow. Let's turn it up and maybe increase the distance and the size. And then let's do one of these blending modes. Let's just scroll through them. I'm just using the scroll wheel. I'm actually liking how overlay looks. So with that, I can hit OK. And maybe apply another one on top of the first project layer. Let's go drop shadow. And let's set it to overlay. Just increase it, maybe increase the distance as well. Cool. Just to get a variation there. Awesome. Now it kind of protrudes a little better. So next what we want to do is go down to the clouds and just kind of mess with this a little bit. This clouds copy, it's looking kind of bright. So maybe mess with this blending mode until we find something a little less bright. Well, there we go. Linear burn looks awesome. Alright, so if you want to kind of erase it in some areas, you can hit E, and you can zoom out and just erase it in some areas. So I kind of like it bright in some areas, so there we go. Only having it dark in some areas makes it look a lot better. Cool. Alright, so what we can do now is we can add some wisps behind. And MediaMilitia has two ways of doing this. You can either go into their wisps right here, click and drag them on, then set them to color add right here. And maybe send it to the back, so let's check this. Send it behind the two. And let's just position them in places where we like it. So I like it right there. Let's grab another one, maybe 9. Change it to add or linear dodge. Put that one right there. Cool. We need one more like right here. So let's go find one more. It looks cool. How about... Actually, I'll show you the other way with this last one. So the way I did it in the first picture was I went to lighting effects and I used these right here. So I like this one a lot, and it's the same process, they just look different. So I'm gonna go here, linear dodge, Command T. Awesome. Alright, so the next thing I want to do is I want to add in that clock that you guys saw in the beginning one. I thought that looked so cool. So I just found the stock image on Google. I'm going to drag and drop it into here. I'll provide this. And now here's the blending mode I used. I went to something called divide, and it just makes it pure white. It's really cool. I'm going to Ctrl Z that. I'm going to find the clock. Where you at? Where you at, clock? There you are. Goodness gracious. Alright. So I'm going to hit Command or Ctrl T so I can, you know, make it look cool. And let's make this smaller. Let's position it somewhere that isn't crazy. Now let's click and drag it down to this create a new layer. And then with the clock copy layer selected, we're going to hit Ctrl or Command T. Gonna drag it over down to below here, and then let's just size it way up. And just kind of give it like a cool behind look. Okay, and we're just gonna lower the opacity a ton. Alright, so now let's add some flares in. So let's go up to MediaMilitia, and let's go back to the lens flares. You could always drag this into After Effects and mess with it in there, but no, MediaMilitia provides these for free, so why not use them, right? Alright, so I'm just gonna try to find some flares that I like, and of course I always like this one. Put this one... Let's change things up a little bit. Let's put this one over here. Cool. Definitely change it to add. Now we want to select the flare, hit E for the eraser, click on the flare, and then we want to hit OK. Zoom out, and then just erase the edges here. Okay, we want one more flare up here, so let's go back into here, the MediaMilitia folder. Let's find one that we like. This one looks cool. I'll use this one. Let's right click it, go flip horizontally, drag it up, and let's set it to add. Cool. Do the same thing, hit E, select it, hit OK to rasterize it, zoom out, and just kind of, you know, make it look better. Now let's drag both of these above the text and clouds layer. Alright, just so they are the main focus of the top. Awesome. And look how awesome that turned out, guys. I guess the final thing we can do is add some color corrections, so let's just select all of these, and then let's go Ctrl G to group them all, and then we'll just name this one main. Okay, then let's drag it down to create a new layer, turn off the bottom one, and now we'll go Ctrl Shift E to merge all of it, and then we'll go up to Filter, Magic Bullet, Photo Looks, and let's play with some color correction. I'm actually really liking Dreamy, so let's actually go to the diffusion, maybe turn it down just a little bit so it's not so intense. Maybe the warm, cool. Just turn it down just a tidbit, just a tid. And turn up the brightness and bring up the darks a little. Nah, let's crush the darks a little more. Cool, bring some of that contrasting back. Awesome. Now let's hit finished. And there you go, guys. So I'm going to save this so you guys can have it. So I hit Ctrl Shift S. I'm going to save it as a Photoshop file. Let's just call it, I don't know, something original like 2014 Project 2. Save. Okay. And with that, it is now done. So thanks for watching, guys. And I really hope you guys learned a few things. I love making these photo manipulation videos. I think they're awesome. And I love using Cinema 4D with Photoshop. It just makes endless possibilities. So remember, guys, leave a comment and also give the video a like because it helps out a lot. And I will see you guys this Friday, so stay tuned. And I hope you guys all have an amazing New Year's Eve. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.
Well, let me tell you about some chicks that I know. I got a Latina girl that said she wanted pronto. I got a girl in Toronto, man, I call her Raptor. She tryna chase the dollar, yeah, that's all she after. She said she fed up with the modern rappers. There's no energy, that sounded thin to me. Yeah, so I said I got that remedy. I got that old shit, you can depend on me. Cause I'm versatile, I can shake up the floor, I'll reverse the tile. You can bet your whole purse, every verse is wild. Make a sucker MC go reverse his style. You can put your money down on it, yeah, you can count on it. And if you're feeling like it sounds legit, then you should bounce to this. I think you know what time it is. Yeah, yeah, I think you know what time it is. You can put your money down on it. Yeah, you start to realize that they were all actors. They drop a tape and then they thought would be a star after. Yeah, they thought that they were off after. Let me show you how to go from a blog rapper to a large factor. If you climb too slow, man, you fall faster. If you even come close, man, you don't have to. But I'm the idiot dude that went from considering business school to living my vision and getting ridiculed. Cause you're still a fool until you're a genius, and then you